Welcome to another episode of My Alphabet of Hair, and today we are looking at the letter B, and B today stands for balayage. Balayage is a colouring technique that's been around for a long time, and I'm going to break down all the myths of what balayage is, but I'm bringing in a very special guest today to help me with today's episode, and that is a very dear friend of mine, Shari Reynolds, who is an amazing hair colourist who has over 40 years of experience in hair colour, working around different continents. She's from London originally, but has lived in New York, lived in Australia, and works everywhere basically. She has a huge clientele and very famous clients as well, going from the likes of George Michael back in the day when he had his blonde moment in Wham, that was all down to Shari. But then more recently, speeding forward, Kate Blanchett, Trinny Woodall, Daphne Guinness, Roger Federer and his wife, although I don't think Roger colours his hair, but also the members of the British and Greek royal family, as well as models Catherine McNeil and Nicole Trumfio. So Shari has worked with many people, many celebrities, but also is an amazing colourist and is really good at explaining exactly what different techniques are. So I'm bringing her in to explain what balayage is. Hi everyone, so as I mentioned in the intro, I'm here with my lovely friend Shari Reynolds, who is an amazing colourist and making me laugh already, and has over 40 years of experience in hair and hair colour, especially hair colour. And Shari's here today to help us break down the myth of balayage. I just discovered this morning that what I thought was balayage wasn't. And I'll explain to you what that was. I actually thought balayage was painting colour around the hairline to create a lightening around the face, which I thought was done because of as women get older, their skin tone fades a little bit. So generally we encourage people to have slightly lighter hair colour. Shari, however, has informed me that it goes way beyond that. And so she's here to explain exactly what balayage is.
We're going deeper now.
We got real deep.
We're going super deep now.
So Shari, balayage is a French word. Can you explain to us what that means?
Yeah.
And how that translates into hair colour?
Okay, I sure can. So balayage, the term balayage means to sweep, to take a brush and sweep it. It could be the floor, but in this case it's hair.
Not sweeping the floor.
Yeah, exactly. So this case it's hair, and it's the technique of taking a little colour onto a brush. It's usually a slanted brush to make sure that it's very graded and smooth, and the colour is swept through the hair and touching the hair as if the sun were on the hair. That's really the essence of balayage. So fairly natural, although it can then go into something much more unnatural and even quite artificial looking, which can be very desirable. Yeah,
because I feel, Shari, that at the moment a lot of people are bantering the word balayage around. You know, when you read in magazines about hair colour, or, you know, on social media, there's lots of things on Instagram about balayage, #balayage, all that kind of thing. Yes. But my thing is do people actually know what they're really asking for when they go to a hair salon and say, I want balayage? Because back in the day it used to be, I want a set of highlights, I want my roots doing. Obviously colour's now gone way beyond that, and balayage is an old technique that's been reintroduced.
Yes.
So over the last couple of years. So it's kind of, for me, it's kind of helping to explain exactly what that is, so people know, you guys know what you're going to actually ask for.
Yeah,
you know?
and getting exactly what you want out of it. I would say, in my experience, and I'm on the floor every day at the salon, the type of conversations that I hear going on, I reckon 50% of people know what they're asking for. So there's also 50% of people that aren't really sure, and I think it's really important to break that down. So when you ask for balayage, first of all, when you go into the salon, you're taking maybe a photo in to get an idea of what you're doing, and then the technique is chosen after that. If you're choosing the technique first, you may not be getting what you're asking for.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, I was going to ask that actually. If someone's coming with a photograph and it isn't a balayage technique,
no.
But do you find people come with a photograph and say, I want this balayage, and you're like, but that's not balayage?
Well, what I'll do is I'll usually slip some balayage in there somewhere, because that hand-painted element can be mixed in with foil work as well. So it's very, very adaptable. But what it is the hand painting on. It can be from the root, the hairline, the tips, the underneath area. What it isn't is precision highlighting at the roots. So if you come in and you have, say, dark blonde hair and you're looking to have light blonde all the way through to the roots and a lot of it, that's not really balayage. That's going to go into more of a foil highlighting technique.
Yeah.
Possibly with some balayage on the end, and what that will do is it will pump up the colour on the end so that it looks like you've been in the sun a bit more, which is lovely. So those combination techniques are very, very versatile, and I would say that they're probably the most adaptable, really, to have both. As we were talking earlier, Neil, we were talking about doing some micro foiling. So most people, when they come into the salon, they want that beautiful, expensive, like let's say Victoria's Secret type look, which who doesn't want that?
Quite
let's face
luxy,
it.
isn't it? Yeah.
Very luxe. There's a bit of something going on here at the root area. There's a lot of something going on the ends. So we may put micro weaves in, which would be maybe 1 centimetre to 1 inch apart. Just weave very, very fine folds into that root area, so the roots have got a little bit of bling happening, a little bit of something that's
I love
a
that
bit more
bit of bling at the
spicy.
roots.
Yeah, and so a bit more spicy at the roots, and then it leads into maybe much more of a hit of colour.
And so when you say microfoiling, is that as in like the pieces of hair that you take are minute?
Teeny tiny, tiny.
Would you say, is balayage only for lightening, or can it be for, you know, like, say for example you've got hair darker as say mine and yours, even though mine's going grey now, but you know, the idea that it's the hair's darker, can you still do balayage techniques on darker hair?
Yeah, you can still do balayage techniques. You can do reverse balayage, which I do quite a lot, especially going from summer to autumn.
The reverse is almost where the hair got lightened through the summer, it's almost taking it back,
pulling it back
a few shades, so that it starts going more back to how it was before the sun hit it. Yeah,
exactly.
Gotcha.
Getting a bit of that sort of.
See, I'm learning too. I know
as well. You're good. You're good.
And Shari, we were talking earlier before we started filming about, you know, people who maybe can't afford to go to the salon and have balayage done or have colour done in general, and about home colouring, which I'm always try to encourage people not to do too much of, because I always say, you know, about the fact that you're dealing with chemicals, and a lot of people don't know what the hell they're doing when they get these boxes of colour in their hands. But, you know, I'm also aware that people can't always afford to go to a salon and get colour done professionally. And so what would you recommend for that?
What I would say is, my biggest tip is, if you are going to use a box colour, section your hair off. Take a look at some videos online. There are so many professional ones, and try to get an idea of what you're actually wanting to do there. Read the instructions twice, and then section your hair off and do a practice dry run.
Like a dummy run.
Yeah, just with a little brush. You don't have to dip it in conditioner to do it, but you could if you wanted to, and just like have a go at just running that through the hair before you get overly excited, mix up, and then there could be big problems. But that particular one's quite easy to use. And the other tip is, do a little bit and build up the colour in the hair. So do a little bit, let it sit for the full processing time. Less is more, and then go in for a bit more if you like what you're seeing, but a little bit, build it up small. Yeah.
And one of the things I wanted to ask you as well, Shari, because obviously balayage has become so popular, and there are so many new techniques now around. I mean, there's ombre, balayage, there's sombre, dombre, bombre, you know, all these other things that are going on. You know, new terms for colour like blonde, you know, and all those. Brorange. You know, I think. Would you say that balayage is now running along the side of highlighting as probably one of the most popular techniques in salons? Yeah, definitely,
absolutely. In the summer, for sure, it's kind of overtaken ever so slightly, but pulling back now because it's a very old trend. Really, it's been going for so many years.
When did it first start?
Where you first saw that kind of idea was Drew Barrymore, taking it right back. This was a long while ago.
How old was Drew then, would you say? Like,
how old is anyone, darling? I'm certainly not telling you. It's not what you see, it's what you think you see that counts.
Exactly.
But it was some time ago. It was some time ago. I reckon about 15 years ago. So she had that then. I think Tracy Cunningham was a colourist then, correct me if I'm wrong.
In LA?
Yeah, in LA. And that was all starting to be hand painted. And then Harry Josh came in looking after Giselle, and was, it's kind of slightly uncoordinated colour that's really just hand painted on.
Well, hopefully we've encapsulated everything that balayage is for you. So that means we have covered today's letter B in the alphabet of hair. Thank you to Shari.
Oh, thank you, Neil.
We're going to see Shari again because she's coming back to discuss other colour techniques for us. So I will see you soon, but we'll see Shari very soon too. Bye.
Nice to meet you. Bye.